The Michael Jackson movie is set to hit theaters in just a few weeks on April 24th. The trailer broke record for the most views in 24 hours for a biopic, and fans are excited that we're finally getting a blockbuster release for a Michael Jackson movie. But behind the scenes, the making of this movie couldn't be more of a shit show. It's been delayed 3 times. They had to throw out the entire ending and reshoot it because they accidentally broke a legal agreement that they didn't even know about. Michael Jackson's own daughter is calling the movie full of lies, and allegedly, Janet got into a screaming match with her brother Jermaine at a private family screening. And all of this is happening while the estate is fighting lawsuits from multiple people. And you'll want to stay to the end because I have a little bit of bad news about the movie that's not 100% confirmed, but all sources point to it. And it might be a little bit of a spoiler, so I warn you guys before I talk about that. The good news is the talent behind the movie is fully stacked. It's directed by Antoine Fuqua, the guy who made Training Day with Denzel Washington. The script is written by John Logan, who also wrote Gladiator and Skyfall. And the lead producer is Graham King, the same producer behind the Freddie Mercury movie, Bohemian Rhapsody. Also, we got a great cast. Michael's own nephew, of course, Jaafar Jackson, Coleman Domingo playing Joe Jackson, Nia Long as Catherine, and Miles Teller as John Branca. Now, if you don't know the name John Branca, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's one of the first controversies with the film and one of Paris Jackson's biggest issues. So the film was co-produced by the Michael Jackson estate, and the 2 men that run the estate are John McClane and John Branca. When Michael died in 2009, he left the 2 men in charge of everything: the music, money, his brand, and their role is to manage everything for the benefit of the family. But according to Paris Jackson, they've only been benefiting themselves. Paris specifically called out the fact that John Branca, the guy running the estate, he used his role as the executive producer to cast Miles Teller. And Miles Teller is the only A-list actor. Now, Paris is saying the estate has become a vehicle for John Branca to make money and build his own profile, not to protect her father's legacy. She actually filed a lawsuit against the estate, which we'll get into. But before we talk about that, we got to talk about the lawsuit, which almost canceled the movie altogether. The screenwriter wrote the original version of the script so that it opened and closed with the 1993 Jordan Chandler case. And Jordan Chandler was the boy whose father accused Michael of SA in 1993. They shot the whole thing, the movie was done, they were in the editing stage, and they had a release date set for April of last year in 2025. But they realized they had a massive problem. When Michael's legal team settled with the Chandler family back in '94, part of that settlement included a clause that said Jordan Chandler's story and identity could never be dramatized in any film. And the movie they just spent $150 million making, it violated that agreement directly. Now, the crazy thing is, how did John Branca and John McClane, the men who are running Michael Jackson's estate, they have access to every document that Michael ever signed. And somehow during the whole process, they missed this legally binding clause. Now, the directors and the writers, they didn't know about the clause. They actually had to find out about it through a Financial Times article. So now you got a $150 million movie with an ending you can't use. The entire third act had to be thrown out and rewritten. They brought everyone back for 22 days of reshoots. The release date got pushed back, and the allegations that haunted Michael the last 15 years of his public life got cut out of the movie altogether. Now, as someone who believes Michael was innocent, it kind of sucks because the original version of the movie, it would have been better for his legacy because you can let the people see the evidence, let them see the timeline, let them see that the father was recorded on tape talking about a plan to destroy Michael even before the accusation was made.
If I go through with this, I win big time. I will get everything I want. They will be destroyed forever.
But it gets worse. The Financial Times story I just mentioned, where they found out about the legal clause, it reveals something even more suspicious about the men running the estate. In 2019, the Leaving Neverland documentary came out, which featured Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who claimed Michael did things to them at Neverland Ranch. That part we know about. But after the documentary came out, the Casillo family, who were close to Michael, came to the estate with their own accusations.
He was wonderful, and he treated him as he was part of our family, and that he was not the king of pop, but just a human being.
He always called us the family of love, my second family.
Now, you would expect the estate to go to court and at least try to fight the allegations. but instead they paid him off quietly. Each of them was set to receive $3.3 million over 6 years. And by the time everything went public, each of them had already collected $2.8 million. And you can tell this is kind of a money grab because one of the accusers, they came back and said the deal wasn't enough and they wanted $213 million. And funny enough, that demand came right after the estate was closing a deal to sell Michael's music catalog to Sony, which Michael never wanted to do, by the way. It just looks bad because the estate is paying millions to random accusers while at the same time producing a movie that calls them all liars. Which they are liars in my opinion, but why pay them off? Especially without a fight. And Paris Jackson has these same questions. She says the estate has been mismanaging money for years, and she's going after them in her own lawsuit. Paris has been at war with the estate for some time now, but the biopic really kicked things off as of recently. In September of 2025, she posted some videos on IG and called the script dishonest. She said it was a lot of full-blown lies. And she also kind of alludes to the fact that there may be some dark truths about Michael. She says there's us fans live in a fantasy. And even though she is his daughter, she's so young, and when the main allegations came out in the early 90s, she wasn't even born yet. So I'm not sure what she was referring to here, but I'll let you hear from her own words.
A big reason why I haven't said anything up until this point is because I know a lot of you guys are going to be happy with it. Like, a big section. The film panders to a very specific section of my dad's fandom that still lives in the fantasy, and they're gonna be happy with it.
It's Hollywood, so it's fantasy land. It's not real, but it's sold to you as real, and there's a lot of inaccuracy and there's a lot of just full-blown lies. And at the end of the day, like, that doesn't really fly with me. I don't really like dishonesty. I spoke up. I wasn't heard. I fucked off. That's it. Y'all are gonna like the fucking movie, so just go watch it, go enjoy it, do whatever, leave me out of it.
Now, as somebody who works in the music industry myself, I've never met Michael, but I do know people personally that have worked with Michael and been in a room with Michael. And all they can ever talk about is how diligent he is, how obsessed with music he is, how down to earth he actually is, and he really is the greatest. So unless she is talking about the allegations or some other family secrets, I don't know what fantasy world that she's referring to. But I am on Paris's side when it comes to John Branca and John McClane mismanaging the money for the estate. So even right now, Paris is still in and out of court. She says in 2021 alone, Branca and McClane took more than $10 million in compensation, which is more than double what any member of Michael's family received that same year. Now, in response to this, they got her case thrown out on procedural grounds and made her pay their legal fees. But just this past month, Paris submitted a new motion accusing Branca of losing sight of his responsibilities. So we'll see how that goes. But while Paris is fighting the estate from the outside, inside the family, things aren't much better. Or at least that's what the headlines say. Earlier this month, the Jackson family got together in LA for a private screening of the finished film. Everyone says Jaafar looks incredible. And this should have been a big moment for the family. But then TMZ and Page 6 published reports claiming the screening turned into a family war. According to their anonymous sources, Janet Jackson was critical of almost everything. And then Jermaine Jackson, Jaafar's father, he exploded on her, telling her that she was jealous. But the Jackson family came out and said that this simply wasn't true. Janet's nephew, Austin Brown, said on Instagram that this was a lie. And Taj Jackson, Tito's son, he posted on X saying, "Please don't promote false stories, gossip, or lies. This is our MJ party now, and they weren't invited." So I don't know. I would say we would have to believe the family, right? I don't believe Janet and Jermaine got into a full-blown shouting match or anything like that. But here's the things that we do know. Janet was offered a role in the production, and she turned it down. She hasn't publicly endorsed the movie, and she's been supporting Paris in her legal fight against the estate. So even if the screaming match didn't happen, there does seem to be a little bit of division. So while all of this is happening, the Michael Jackson estate is still fighting multiple lawsuits from people accusing Michael of abuse. And ironically, everything is timed right around the movie. The two men from Leaving Neverland, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, they have a trial coming up this November. Their combined lawsuit against Michael's company is seeking $400 million in damages. Now, this case has been going back and forth through the courts for over a decade. It's been thrown out twice and brought back twice on appeal. And their lawyer criticized the estate in a statement that he made to Rolling Stone. He says they want the Michael Jackson biopic to come out before the trial. These corporations that facilitated the abuse in the first place, they're rewriting the history. Now, on top of that, the director of Leaving Neverland, Dan Reed, he's in the middle of making the trilogy that's going to cover the actual trial in November. So you got a documentary filmmaker building a counter narrative in real time designed to undermine the Michael film. That whole thing is crazy because on one hand, you don't want to potentially blame the victims, but also at the same time, Wade and James have both gone on record defending Michael.
Are you still friendly with Michael?
Yeah, we still talk every couple months, catch up.
You do, really?
Yeah.
Well, what's he like?
What's he like? He's a good guy.
He's a good guy?
Yeah.
Show me where he touched you. You never, nothing ever,
place he touched you, bro.
Nothing ever like that? No nonsense, no shenanigans? But he's a weird...
But the newest lawsuit came just weeks ago. In February, the 4 siblings from the Casillo family filed a federal lawsuit accusing Michael Jackson of trafficking. Now, these are the same people who the estate has already paid $3 million to.
So I have to ask you, Frank, Marie, Nicole, were there ever any improprieties with you and Michael Jackson?
Never. Michael couldn't harm a fly.
Now, this one is wild because now they're saying Michael transported minors across state lines and international borders. Now, this is coming just 5 weeks before the biopic's release date. But the weird part is the Casillo family, they were known as Michael's second family. Frank Casillo, he wrote a whole book in 2011 called My Friend Michael, where he praised them on every page. They were some of the most loyal people in his life. For 25 years, they said nothing happened. And now they're saying everything happened. Their explanation is that Leaving Neverland deprogrammed them and that watching other accusers tell their stories helped them realize what had been done to them. So here's where I'm at personally with all of this. Michael was investigated by the FBI for over a decade. They found nothing. He went to trial in 2005. The jury, they heard all the evidence and they found him not guilty. Plus, the patterns and the timing of everything just doesn't really add up. Wade Robson defended Michael for years. He testified under oath that nothing happened. Then, after he was turned down for the Michael Cirque du Soleil show, he suddenly remembered that he was a victim. And then the Casillo family, they wrote books, they went on national TV, spent decades praising Michael as the greatest person they'd ever known.
He's such a kind and gentle soul.
So when you heard those charges and heard those charges then again, and he went on trial for those charges, what did you think?
You know, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Terrible.
You know, Michael was a target, and unfortunately, he was targeted.
And then they come forward after the estate was worth billions, accepted millions in a settlement. And then that wasn't enough. They wanted millions more, timed to a major business deal. It's like every single time, the accusations, they surface when there's money to be made. Also, with every new allegation and settlement, they can't be sued for defamation because you can't defame a dead person under the law. So there's no risk to accusing Michael Jackson of anything. It's only financial gain. Now, we'll never know what happened behind closed doors, but based on everything I've looked at, I believe Michael was innocent. And I think the timing of all these allegations and lawsuits right before the biggest movie about his life, it kind of tells you what everything's really about.
We know our brother. Michael wouldn't do anything like that. And then he waits until after the passing of Michael, 10 years later, to come out and state this.
Why do you think they're coming forward now?
Money.
You think it's all about money?
Well, it's all about money.
It's always been about money.
All right, so now I got to give you guys a potential spoiler warning because we have to talk about the biggest effect that the lawsuits have on the movie. So remember, the original cut of the movie was almost 4 hours. And because of the Jordan Chandler legal clause and all the new potential settlement payments, not only did they have to cut things out of the movie, but sources say that they decided to split the movie into 2 movies. And what sucks about this is that they're saying that the first film is only going to cover up to the Off the Wall era. But when you watch the trailer, it's full of thriller and bad era footage. So either the first film goes further than what's being reported, or the trailer is selling you a movie that you're not actually getting yet. But worse than that, Lionsgate hasn't even officially confirmed the second movie yet. So it seems like most of the iconic era of Michael's career, Thriller, Bad, and The Moonwalk at Motown 25, that might be saved for a movie that hasn't been greenlit yet. But with all that said, nothing can stop me from being excited to see this movie. I already got my tickets, and we cover Michael here a lot on the channel, so I'm probably going to do a movie review, but it's going to be crazy because the movie drops April 24th. The Robson Safe Truck trial, that starts in November. The Castillo lawsuit, that's still pending. Paris Jackson is still fighting the estate in court. And then a third Leaving Neverland documentary is being made right now that's going to cover the trial in November. So it looks like 2026 is going to be the most contested year for Michael Jackson's legacy since he died. But luckily, I already have one of the top Michael Jackson documentaries on YouTube that covers Michael's legacy and just how great he was. So I'll leave that video for you here so you can watch that next. Until next time, peace.